So we're gonna take a little walk around the food forest. I'm gonna give you a little rant, talk about, you know, uh, starting a food forest and what it takes, stuff like that. So follow me. Let's take a little walk. So you guys thinking about starting a food forest? Believe it or not, back in 2012, 2014, this was an empty yard, barren, sloped yard. But look at it today. Who would have thought? But yeah, creating a food forest, it's something that does take years. It's not something you do overnight. And you do have to plan things, when you start. I mean, if I would have knew the things I know today, I would have done things a lot differently. I wouldn't have planted this Royal Poinciana for one. It's the wrong tree for this situation. Now, it was planted to provide shade, and that it does. Too much shade. It is very wide. Not good in hurricanes. Those branches come down, and not good in cold either, so it loses all that canopy in the wintertime. So if I was to do it again, I would probably either plant maybe an oak, maybe one of the pink tulip trees, which I have planted. Like back here I have one, have another one in that corner, and then I have a couple in the front of the house on the other side. That's where I got the seeds from. But those handle cold, they don't lose the canopy, and in the winter time they're full of pink blooms. They're beautiful. That's one thing I would have did. But doing a food forest, yeah, something that takes years. Is something that you have to really plan, in your head. You have to plan out a few years in advance. You have to kind of have a vision. Me, of course, I didn't. I just started planning things here and there, and now I wish that I would have thought it out a little more. This pomegranate, orange, citrus, mangoes, moringas, avocados. I have a bunch of stone fruits, plum cots, pluots. You can plant a little bit of everything, but you do have to know where to plant stuff. You do have to think all of that in advance. Can they handle cold? Can they handle shade? What are their requirements? Will you be able to grow them in bad soil like this? Mulch, adding organics, that's what helps. In the beginning, I used to have swales. I used to have swales here, swales down there, to collect the water that used to run from all my neighbor's yard. When it rains hard, all that water comes in here. I used to have floods come down here. I mean, it used to wash away my sand, and I used to get flooding all the way down the bottom. That's why I have that little retention wall that I built, that I did way in the beginning, to keep that water from going out there. It did work. Swales work as well. Swales, the thing with swales is that it becomes a little hard to walk. And eventually what I did, I just leveled everything up. So I have different levels. One level here, I have another level there, then you have another level up front. The back, it's a level, it's raised up. This is another level. And that way I was able to start growing things, and not having to grow things on a hill. By having everything leveled, it helps retain the water. So the water just doesn't roll down. You get water retention where you need to grow plants at. There's a lot of little things that you have to take into consideration. This side of my yard, is a north facing side, so I get cold coming from this corner over here, which is one of the reasons why you see I have everything densely planted here. It's to form a cold break, to help with the cold. But had I known what I know today, I would have had this area all planted already with trees that would have been blocking this whole little area over here from the cold as it came in. Evergreens, they're good. Mulberry, it's good. I have another evergreen back there, another pine. I got another little pine there, but you know, it's late, you know. These are things that I should have had already growing. Moringas are good. They love it. They grow, they give you a quick canopy. You can chop and drop and use them in capsules for the health benefits. You can also use them for your plants. Chop and drop. I got a little stair going here. This is also an area where water will accumulate. So what I have going on right now, it's the little stair. So when water comes down, it kind of drops down, spread out, drops down, spread out. But it also helps because now I have a little walkway to go up. Leaves. Good stuff. Helps greatly when you have bad soil. Citrus. This is my lower level. Got mangoes, I got bananas. Then my middle level, I have mangoes growing in here. But yeah, all of this was a work. It's still a work in progress because it's still changing. I'm still making changes even after all these years. I take things out, move things out, I'll build up new areas. I plant Mexican sunflower for chop and drop, but also to create microclimates. Chop and drop on this side, have another Mexican sunflower, which is a chop and drop, but it's also forming a microclimate. There's another one behind it. I have the tangerine tree behind it. So it's nestled, and also it's right next to the moringa. It's nestled right in this little pocket. This tree I do not cover in the winter time. It gets a little cold damage, but I do not cover it. And it's still growing, it's still nice, healthy. This is actually my biggest tree, oldest tree. And it's the one that I do not cover. Moringa. I have my dragon fruits growing up here on the moringa. Growing the way nature wants it to grow. Rosa hibiscus, citrus. I got different things spread all over the place, you know. But I mulch. You know, I level the ground, I raise the ground wherever it needs to be, you know, done. You know, I make adjustments. I make adjustments. The little wall keeps the water from going out that way to the house and getting wasted. Keeps it here for all these plants to enjoy. So anyway, there's a lot that goes into doing a food forest. A lot of considerations that you have to make, and it's a learning process, and it's a never-ending process because you're always making changes. You're always doing things. Up on that back fence, I got grapevines on that too. I got passion fruit. So you have to kind of make sure to use your space. Don't leave any open spaces. Cover everything. And the soil. You got to really work on your soil. You got to bring in mulch, leaf mulch. All of that's necessary when you're doing things on a big scale like this, because fertilizer is expensive, so you have to use your natural fertilizer. For example, you see this cactus that's growing all over the place, that grows like a weed for me? I'll take these petals, chop them up, mix them with water, Get some of that Mexican sunflower, get some of that moringa, mix it all with water, and that's it. You know, I got a natural fertilizer going. Saves me a lot of money. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this was helpful for you guys. If you did like it, please like, subscribe. And once again, this is Orlando Backyard Gardening signing off, y'all. You take it easy. Bye-bye. And don't forget, like and subscribe. This is Orlando Backyard Gardening signing off, y'all.